Imagine this. You meet someone for the first time. Maybe it's a woman you find intriguing. She's smart. She's confident. She's got that spark in her eyes that makes you want to know more. You talk for a few minutes. It's pleasant. It's polite. And then she walks away. 2 days later, she can't even remember your name. Now imagine a different scene. You meet that same woman, but this time something is different. Within minutes, she's leaning in a little closer. Her eyes light up. She's telling you things she doesn't usually share with strangers. She's laughing, not just politely, but with a kind of laughter that comes from somewhere deep. Hours later, she's replaying pieces of the conversation in her mind. Days later, she's telling her friends about this guy she met. And weeks later, if your name comes up, she remembers exactly how she felt when she was talking to you. The difference between those two moments isn't luck. It's not that one guy was born with better genetics or a magic charm. The difference is in the questions. Because here's the truth. Most conversations are on autopilot. People repeat the same small talk over and over, answering the same dull questions until they can't even remember who asked them. What do you do? Where are you from? How's your day? These questions go in one ear and out the other. Forgettable questions lead to forgettable conversations. And forgettable conversations lead to you being forgotten. But the right question, asked at the right time, can flip a switch in her mind. It can make her feel something she hasn't felt in months, maybe years. It can pull her out of her comfort zone, but in a way that feels exciting instead of awkward. It can open a door into her past, her dreams, her fears. And when you're the person who helped her step through that door, she won't forget you. She can't forget you. Today, I'm going to give you 6 questions that do exactly that. Questions that bypass the boring and cut straight into connection. They're not cheesy. They're not manipulative. And they're not meant to be used like a script. They're keys to emotional memory. And if you use them right, she will remember you for a very long time. My name is Adam and this is Stoic Paradox, where we strip away the noise, the gimmicks, and the fake alpha male advice and instead get to the psychology of attraction, connection, and human behavior. I've spent years studying what makes people remember certain moments and forget others instantly. And I can tell you, it's almost never about the exact words you say. It's about how you make someone feel when you say them. Most men approach conversations like they're checking boxes. Say something polite, throw in a compliment, maybe tell a story, and hope she's interested. But that approach is like tossing pennies into a wishing well. There's no real weight behind it, and it's forgotten almost immediately. What actually works is emotional precision. The ability to spark curiosity, invite vulnerability, and create moments that stick in a person's mind because they were different, because they mattered, because they weren't just another Recycled conversation. That's where the questions I'm about to share come in. Now, I want to be clear. These aren't gotcha questions. You're not trying to impress her with how clever you are. You're not trying to interrogate her. You're not trying to manipulate her into liking you. The power of these questions comes from authenticity. They work because they give her a space to feel seen, to feel interesting, to feel safe. Opening up. And when she connects that feeling to you, that's when you become unforgettable. And here's something most guys miss. When a woman remembers you, it's not always because you said something profound. It's because in that moment, you made her feel something rare. Joy, nostalgia, inspiration, even a little thrill of excitement. People don't remember facts, they remember feelings. And the fastest way to create the right feeling is by asking the right question. So today we're going deep. I'm giving you 6 conversation shifting questions that you can use in almost any situation. Whether you've just met her, you're on your first date, or you've known her for years, but want to reignite the spark. If you use these questions with patience and genuine curiosity, you won't just have a good conversation. You'll leave an imprint. One that stays, one she'll replay in her mind long after you've walked away. Question 1. What's one moment in your life you wish you could relive? Why it works? This question taps directly into nostalgia. And nostalgia is one of the most emotionally charged states a human can experience. When someone recalls a deeply positive memory, their brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals tied to pleasure and bonding. And here's the trick. The brain starts associating those feel-good chemicals with the person they're talking to in the moment. How to use it? Don't rush. Ask it when the conversation is already flowing. Maybe after a laugh, a shared story, or a moment of connection. And when she answers, don't just let her give you the headline version. Get her to paint it for you. Ask, what made it so special for you? What do you think made that moment stand out from all the others? If you were there again right now, what would you notice first? The more sensory detail she gives, sights, sounds, smells, even tastes, the more vividly she relishes it. That emotional immersion is where memory sticks. Common mistakes. Asking this too early before any rapport is built can feel intrusive. Turning it into your story right away, instead of letting her stay in hers. Rushing her answer. Nostalgia takes time to bubble up. Follow-up strategy. When she's done sharing, give her a moment. Smile. Then, if you have a genuinely related moment of your own, share it. Briefly, but keep the focus on her experience. Question 2, what's something you've never told anyone, but feel comfortable sharing with me? Why it works. This isn't about extracting deep, dark secrets. It's about opening a door to vulnerability. Humans bond through shared risk, and emotional openness is a kind of social risk. When she feels safe enough to share something personal, she automatically starts seeing you as someone she can trust. How to use it? The key here is timing. This isn't a first 5 minutes question. Use it after you've already built some emotional safety. Maybe after you've shared something about yourself first. You can soften it with humor. Okay, here's a fun one. What's something you've never told anyone? And don't worry, I'm not going to blackmail you. You'll be surprised. Sometimes she'll share something silly, like a weird food habit. Sometimes she'll go deep. Either way, you've created a unique connection. Common mistakes. Pushing for something overly personal when she's not ready. Reacting with judgment or mockery. Instant trust breaker. Using her answer to turn the spotlight fully onto yourself. Follow-up strategy. Validate the share. If it's light, play along and keep the energy fun. If it's serious, acknowledge it with respect. Thanks for trusting me with that. That acknowledgement is powerful. Question 3. If you could spend 1 year anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Why it works? This blends curiosity with imagination. It gives her the freedom to dream. And when people dream out loud, they reveal what inspires them, excites them, or makes them feel alive. The why part is critical. It's where her personality and values come through. How to use it? Ask this when there's room for a fun, relaxed back and forth. As she answers, listen for the deeper clues. If she says Paris because she loves art, that's about creativity. If she says barley because she loves nature, that's about peace and beauty. These are windows into what she values, not just where she wants to go. Common mistakes: treating it like a travel checklist instead of an emotional window. Ignoring the why and moving on too fast, using it only as a way to brag about your own trips. Follow-up strategy. Once you know her dream location, explore it with her. What's the first thing you do when you landed? Or who's the first person you'd want to tell about it? Now you're getting more layers. Question 4. Who has had the biggest impact on the person you've become? Why it works? This question is a straight shot into values, influences, and formative experiences. When she talks about someone who shaped her, she's not just giving you facts. She's revealing her moral compass, what she admires, and what she strives to be. How to use it? Tone matters here. Ask it in a calm, interested way, not like an interrogation. As she answers, listen for the traits she emphasizes: kindness, strength, resilience, intelligence. Those are traits she either values in others or wants in herself. Common mistakes: dismissing her choice or making jokes at the person's expense. Making it all about your own role models without engaging hers. Rushing past the impact part. That's the core follow-up strategy. Once she's shared, ask, how do you think you're most like them? This gets her reflecting on her own character, and you're the person guiding that reflection. That's memorable. Question 5. What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? Why it works? This is a forward-looking question. It taps into curiosity, adventure, and sometimes hidden fears. People love talking about someday dreams, and if she shares one with you, she's handing you a piece of her personal wish list. How to use it? Ask it when the vibe is playful or imaginative. This can reveal anything from bucket list adventures to quirky hobbies. If she says skydiving, it's about thrill. If she says learning Italian, it's about culture and expression. Common mistakes: criticizing or mocking her dream. That's crazy or that's pointless. Immediately trying to insert yourself into it in a forced way. Treating it like a yes or no question without exploring why. Follow-up strategy. Ask, what's been holding you back? Now you're in a deeper, more revealing territory. This can uncover fears, priorities, or the story she tells herself about why she hasn't done it yet. Question 6. When in your life have you felt the most alive? Why it works? This is the emotional powerhouse. It pulls her straight into peak experiences. Moments when she was fully present, energized, and connected to life. Just recalling those moments triggers the same emotional state in miniature. And because you're the one asking, she'll anchor that feeling to you. How to use it? Ask this in a setting where she can really reflect, not in a loud, chaotic environment. As she answers, watch her body language. People often smile unconsciously, or their tone shifts when they recall such moments. Common mistakes: cutting her off before she's fully described it. Using her story as a springboard to tell a much bigger story about yourself, rushing the silence after she finishes. Sometimes the pause is the connection. Follow-up strategy. Once she's described it, ask, what do you think made that moment so powerful for you? This helps her articulate the deeper meaning. And again, you're the one leading her there. So, now you have them. 6 questions that don't just keep a conversation going, but actually make you memorable. 6 questions that bypass the dead zone of small talk and dive straight into the part of a person's mind where real connection lives. Here's what you need to understand. It's not the fact that you're asking these questions that makes them powerful. It's how you ask them, when you ask them, and whether you're actually present enough to listen. You can't fake curiosity. People feel it. If you're just saying the words so you can tick them off a mental checklist, she'll feel that, too. The point is not to perform. The point is to explore. If you start using these questions the right way, something interesting will happen. You'll notice your conversations slowing down. You'll notice her eyes lingering a little longer. You'll notice moments of silence that don't feel awkward. They feel comfortable. And that's the space where trust and attraction grow. But there's a deeper reason I'm giving you these tools. I don't want you to just become The guy she remembers. I want you to become the guy everyone remembers. Because you were present. Because you made them feel seen. Because you didn't just interact with them like a passing face in a crowd. I want you to be unforgettable in your friendships, your relationships, your career. Because unforgettable people shape the world around them. And that's what Stoic paradox is about. Not fake lines, not cheesy tricks, not playing a part to get an outcome. It's about understanding human nature, mastering your own mindset, and building the kind of presence that naturally draws people in. Now, here's what I want you to do next. If you're watching this and one of these 6 questions sparked an idea, pick one. Just one, and use it in your next conversation. Don't overthink it. Don't script it. Just wait for the right moment and ask it. Then listen. Really. Listen. You might be surprised at what happens. And when you try it, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me which question you used, what her reaction was, and how it changed the vibe of the conversation. Your experience might help someone else in this community take their first step toward better connection. If this video gave you something valuable, do 2 things for me. First, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is worth showing to more people, and it helps this community grow. Second, subscribe to the Stoic Diary and turn on notifications because I have more coming. Not just tips, but full frameworks for how to become the kind of man people are drawn to, respect, and remember. And here's a little challenge for you over the next week. See how many forgettable conversations you can transform using just these 6 questions. Make it a game. Make it your personal experiment in human psychology. And when you realize how much better life feels when you connect at this level, you'll never go back to small talk again. My name is Adam. This is the Stoic Diary. And I'll see you in the next one where we go even deeper into the art of connection, attraction, and influence. Until then, don't just talk to people, make them feel, because feelings are what they'll remember. And when they remember the feeling, they'll remember